Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Kepler R. So, if you're wondering how you get this vessel, and there are slight spoilers ahead, nothing major, but... So after you complete the main quest line mission where you're working with Walter, if you go back to him a second time, he will give you another mission. It's more of a side quest, where you basically have to help his R&D team build a ship. They're having, like, trouble... They can't decide on what to do. So you go there and you basically kind of like listen to hear from all of them. And you get the option to build two ships. You can choose to go with the cheaper budget ship, which would give you the Kepler S. Or you can choose to go with a more expensive budget called the all but the kitchen sink budget. And you get the Kepler R. Now, as you can see, they really did put everything on this ship. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it has like one of every like base model of item in the game. It's very big, very long. Personally, if I was doing this quest again, I would go for the S version because I think the S looks a lot nicer. But the R gives you more room to like upgrade. Like, you could definitely turn this into a capable ship. Not that it's not a capable ship to begin with. Anyway, so we'll get into the stats. So it has a fuel of 2800, which is astronomical. You would not need that much fuel in this game, but it's nice to have it. You pretty much jump from one side of the system or to get the galaxy to the other without needing to stop. It's got a hull of almost 1,000, one shy of 1,000, which is kind of low for a C-class vessel, considering they like strapped so many different modules on this. Like, you think that it being a C-class, like a lot of C-classes tend to sit around probably like 12 to 1,500, so this is quite low. Now, reactor-wise, it's only got a 24 power reactor, which, like, come on, Walter. The whole point of this build was to throw money at it. You couldn't stretch for like a better reactor? Let me see if I can find out where the reactor is. It's probably behind it. Oh, there it is there. Like, there's certain A-class reactors that are better than this reactor. Which is a bit of a letdown. But anyway, we move on. It's got a crew of 6, which is quite nice. It's always nice to see. It's got a jump range of 28 light years, which is really, really good. Like, they clearly didn't skimp on the grav drive. But then obviously grav drives aren't as expensive as other components, I suppose. Shields 805. Again, I can't help but feel like they're just skimping. Like, that shield, that's around where the A-class shield caps out, but you could easily, I'd say for the price of the shield on this, you could probably get a B or C-class shield that could at least put us over 1,000. So, I don't know. Again, just kind of weird how they went with the design. It's got two sets of weapons. It's got laser weapons and ballistic weapons. The laser weapons are mounted on the front, on that Nova Galactic weapon mount. Now, they look like turrets, but I don't believe they are. Some of the weapons, laser weapons, the Reza laser weapons, I believe they're called, they look like turrets, which is kind of interesting. And then it's got a pair of ballistics on those back little engine struts. I believe they're going to be either railguns or Gauss guns. I think they're Shinonami. As always, the price here is irrelevant because you can't buy it. I just sell the ship beforehand so that I can basically kind of see the stats on modified. I have a feeling I missed the cargo, which if I did, I apologize. The cargo is 300 or 3,550, which, as you can see there is a lot of cargo containers. I'm not sure if that's the only form of cargo they went with, but we can definitely bump up those cargo numbers a bit. Because as you can see, some of them aren't red. The red ones give the most cargo. There's 2 greens there and another green. So we could definitely improve that a little bit. Anyway, we're going to purchase this bad boy. But like I said, you can actually buy this ship. And then we're going to... It's very big. Like, exceedingly large. It's got a kind of a nice profile to it, though. It kind of... Like, if you like squinted slightly... And, like, you maybe were, like, suffering from, like, an Aurora addiction. It might look like a Star Destroyer. Might. But, yeah, it's definitely the sort of ship where I feel like a lot of people are going to be customizing it, like, straight off the bat. Because I would assume, like, the fact that it cost me 300k to buy means that it probably has over, like, 600k worth of parts on it. You could definitely, like, strip it down and make it into a more eye-pleasing vessel. Anyway, we're going to enter it. Find the door. Where's the door? Entryway at the back here on the starboard side, behind the beside the engines. So up we go into the Shroud Eklund entryway. I really like this. And then we have a door. I'm probably going to get lost because this ship's going to have a lot in it. So immediately we're entering into a 1x1 storage room. Shroud Eklund 1x1. And then if we jump up... Oh, I like this. Okay. So we have this as a battle control room, I believe. We'll do a teardown at the end to get the exact name. But it's pretty much a CIC, or a Combat Information Center. Modern warships have them to kind of control, like, weapons and stuff. Whereas, like, the bridge or the cockpit flies, the CIC controls everything to do with combat. I really like these rooms. I kind of wish that that every faction had one, or every builder had one. But obviously Hope Tech doesn't really deal in combat vessels. But it'd be nice to see what it would look like. There's Cora gone downstairs. Nice. She's out of my way now. Perfect. So we've got some windows here on the port side. Pretty nice. And then do we have a window on the starboard? Nope. But we have a door here. We go through this door and we have a window there with an infirmary. We've got the research lab and the pharmaceutical lab. It's nice to have an infirmary on the ship. Just for, you know, if you need it. I really wish, I've said this in other videos, I really wish you could, like, assign your crew to actually work here. So, like, if you got damaged, like, there is a doctor. I'm pretty sure you can come across, like, an actual doctor as a companion. But they don't do anything. They're just like, yeah, I'm a doctor. Hello, Cora.
Your ship smells so much better than Dad's.
Thanks.
Like
so,
lot.
If we hop up here to the next floor, we have, okay, we have a window. I believe this is a Shroud mess hall. It is. So we have the, this is kind of the officer's mess. It's kind of like lacking a lot of stuff. It's very plain. Not a lot to it. And then here we have the main mess hall. We've got 16 seats there. Got what is that? I think that's like that's supposed to be a coffee. Yeah, I think it's a coffee pot. Some ample storage. Over here we have the dartboard. You know, I don't know why I like darts. Of all sports to play, we've got darts. Apparently the menu is to be determined. That's always nice. And then we have the kitchen here. We have the cooking station. Some storage there. Some freezers. It kind of feels like the ship is, like, not fully, like, stocked. Like, you have these freezers that are, like, empty. Because I've been on other ones, like, same, like, you know, like, this sort of, like, layout. And they had stuff in them. Like, there was stuff on the tables and couches. So I don't know if that's just, like, if there's, like, a design choice, or if... I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Anyway, so if we come back up this way here to the next floor. Oh, whoops. We have a captain's quarters. We got a little table and chairs there. That's a health hazard if I ever seen one. There should definitely be railings there, but who am I to judge? You know, Shroud Eklund, I apologize if I've been saying Shroud Eklund need to get the stuff together. Very uncomfortable bed. I always thought this was a Deimos bed, but I don't think it is. Really? Again, Shroud Eklund are kind of like... They're getting to, like, Tayo levels of, like, lack of stuff. Anyway, we have the bridge there, but we're going to go up one more level just to double check. Okay, and we have just a 1x1 storage... What? Another 1x1 storage room. And we go up one more time. And we have the docking port. I actually kind of like this here. I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, it'd be kind of cool to put some windows all around here, so you have like a kind of a, like, you know, like a viewing port. That'd be actually kind of cool. Anyway, back down we get. So I'm just gonna really quickly do like a... Oh, I'm gonna break my legs. I'm gonna do a really quick run through just to make sure I didn't forget anything. So we got ladders here. See, this is why they need to add like a kind of a system where you can customize the ship's interior, choose where the ladders and stuff go. Because I'd like to, like, I'd rather have, like, you know, like a deck of just 1x1s, like, stacked on top of one another that act as, like, your up and down. As opposed to... Also, like, why can't ships have stairs? Like, I know, like, some ships need to be, like, space effective. You know, or they don't want to make them very big. But a couple of stairs wouldn't kill anyone, right? Alright, so it looks like we got everything here, so we're going to head to the bridge. I can remember where the bridge... Someone said the compass points to the bridge. I seen that in a comment. I apologize, I can't remember the name, but... Does it point to the bridge? I don't think it does. It's pointing me that way. What's over there? Maybe it points to the exit, actually. Anyway,
Ahoy,
we got the...
Captain.
Ahoy there, Cora. Please don't touch anything. Is she stealing my loot? Stay away from this. There's nothing in that. Nothing at all. I mean, she looks like she's doing some work. She's doing more than most of the crew. So we got, yeah, this is the Stroud Eklund Bridge. I really like this bridge. I say this with a lot of bridges, but I think this is like the perfect like bridge for a larger vessel. You've got like your captain seat there. You've got your like 2 seats here for like say your co-pilot, your navigator. They've got little computer terminals so they can do their work. And then you've got these 2 seats on the side, so they also have extra work there, which is nice. So now we're going to take her off and see how she performs. So I'm not expecting much in the line of like a bit moving abilities and stuff just off the bat because it doesn't have a lot of power. It looks so ugly. And I'm quite weird when it comes to ships. I like a lot of ugly ships. Like honestly, if I was Walter and like I come back, I'm like, yeah, Walter, ship's done, and I look at the schematics, I'd fire everyone and go to Sarah and be like, don't let that guy near shipbuilding again. Alright, so for the sake of the video, I have a perk called Electronic Fusion. Did I say that right? It's this perk here. That gives 5 extra power. So for the sake of this video, we're not going to be implying that 5 power. Now, we don't have a lot of power to play around with. So weapon-wise, we've got a pair of those lasers there. Ooh, they sound kind of beefy. And then we've got the... How do gun bullets sound weaker than lasers? That's a bit weird. Anyway, we'll do a quick speed test. I'm not expecting much. Yeah, as I assumed. We're 30. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. Boost speed.
Do you got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able.
Boost speed of 440. Again, it's not amazing. And now we do the agility test. Oh my dear lord, yeah. Could be here a while. Hope you guys' day's going good, or night, wherever you live. Okay, that was slow. It's probably the slowest I've seen. It's not like very slow, but I feel like on the scale that's like a 1 or a 2. The yaw seems faster, weirdly enough. Yaw's like a 4, and then roll's not too bad. Alright, so now we're going to go down to the surface and we're going to do a teardown to see what it's made of. Alright, so I've zoomed out a little bit. As you can see, there's a lot of different pieces. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like kind of tiers tall. So on the top here, all we have is the Shroud Storeroom 1x1 and the 100 DP Slim Docker top from Deimos. And then we've got 2 of these little portholes here. And then we have the Odin 3030C shield generator from Protectorate Systems. It's a C-class, 8 power, 805 shields. And then underneath that we have the SGD 3300 grav drive from Slayton Aerospace. It's, again, C-class, 11 power, 45 grav jump thrust, which gives us 28 light years. Now for the shields, I kind of feel like it's a bit of like a slap in the face that a C-class shield has such little shields. It's like 805. Like I feel like C classes should be above, at least above 1,000. So we do have, okay. So if we go 2 up from the 3030 to the 3050, it uses 3 more power. And it gives us 1315 shields, so an extra 500 shields, which is pretty nice. Now, it also requires you to have Starship Design 4, and it costs almost twice as much, 30k, which is a bit... Now, if you want to go the best shield purely based on like shield strength, it's this bad boy here. The Assurance SG 1800 shield generator from Sexton Shield System. C-class, 12 power. It gives you 1600 max shield health. It costs about 40k without perks, and it requires Starship Design 4, and I'm pretty sure you have to be like level 50 plus for it, so that's a bit of a downside. Now for the grav drive, we can definitely slop in, like, the grav drive is not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but we could definitely get a better one. So if we get one of the 50 ones here, so like for instance this one here, this is all C-class, also 11. Now this one costs 30k more, but if we use it, it gets us up to those 30 light years. So it's just nice to kind of have. Now, something kind of interesting. I just want to test this real quick, because this, I've never like thought about this before, but this, can I do this? Can I? Come here. Oh no, just, I've never like thought of the idea of having like a kind of an observation deck on a ship. I'm just curious if like you can like fully place these backwards. Oh, and we can put a top one. Oh, that's actually really cool. So, so you could make a little kind of an observation deck, which is kind of cool. Anyway, back to the rest of it. So for the aesthetic pieces, it only has these two Nova Galactic portholes on each side. If we go to the next tier of the ship here, the only habitat pieces, we have a Shroud 1x1 storeroom from Stroud Eklund, apologies. It's going to take me some time to not say it with an H. And then weapon-wise, we have two of these other, Jishaku ND RF rapid railguns from Shinigami. C-class, 1200 range, 4 fire rate, 22 hull damage, and 3 power. And they're mounted on some Horizon weapon mounts. There's two of them. And then for cargo, we have the Stormax 60 cargo hold there. It gives 435 cargo. This one here is a Stormax 50. It only gives 320, so we could definitely swap this out. We could potentially delete this, and we could place the red one, just so we get a bit more storage. And then for the aesthetic pieces, like I was saying, we have two of these Horizon weapon mounts. There they are there. We have two of these Shroud Bracers A, and then we have a Shroud Nose Cap E. And then, the next part, this is where the bridge section, we have the Viking CP 2200 cockpit from Stroud Eklund, 280 cargo and 4 crew space. Behind that, we have the Stroud Captain's Quarters 2x1. Now, it's kind of interesting having a Captain's Quarters there. I feel like normally you're better off putting, like, a control center. But obviously it has that, like, battle room, so it's not needed. And then behind that, we have the Abysmal Reactor, the Theta Pinch B9 reactor from Amazon. It's a C-class, only 24 power. Very, very weak reactor. So, like, you don't have to look far to find a reactor that has that much power. So if we go and we go down, so we've got a couple here. So the best reactor you can get, or one of the best, there's like, so this one here, this SF40 sheared flow reactor from Dogstar, C-class, it gives 40 power instead of the lonely 24, and it fits in nice and snug. So you could definitely like slap that back in place of it. Now this is going to require piloting rank 4 and Starship Design 4, and I believe you have to be like level 40 plus to get it. So you might be stuck with that crappy reactor for a while. But like I was saying, like even like if we look here, if we go to A class, we have like this one here. This thing provides 33 power, so an extra 9 power, and it's only A class. And it costs about the same, and has the same, kind of similar requirements. Anyway, for the engine, we have this Supernova 2200 engine from Reldadyne. C-class, 3 max power, 25,770 engine thrust, 7,650 maneuvering thrust. Those engines aren't bad. I just want to check if that is the best engine, because I wouldn't be surprised if Stroud Eklund put the weakest. Might not have this engine here. Oh, it does. Yeah, no, 20. That is the best engine. Okay, thanks, Stroud Eklund. You didn't skimp out. And then we've got two more of these Stormax 60 here. We have a Stormax 50, which is 320, and a Stormax 40. Like I was saying, you can get rid of these ones and replace them with the red ones. Now, the red ones are a little bit heavier, but they give you more cargo. And then for the aesthetic pieces, we have this Shroud Cap A Starboard 4 and Shroud Cap A Port 4. And that's it for this section. I think this is next. Yes, this is next. Okay. So the only habitat piece we have here is the Shroud Mess Hall 2x3. I'm not a huge fan of this mess hall, just even like the fact that it wasn't very I don't know, just I don't know if it was just this ship, but it seems like there was not much going on in it. So I'd probably swap this out for, like, the Nova Galactic Mess Hall is pretty nice, like, if you're going with a 2x3. But if not, you could strap in, like, some other places, like maybe an all-in-one berth, or some living quarters for your crew, basically. And then we have two more cargo here, Stormax 60, and then we have another Stormax 30, which, again, we can swap out and just put that there. Now, for fuel, we have 4 of these 700T helium-3 tanks from Ballistic Solutions. They give 400 each, so that's 1,600 fuel, which is astronomical. And then we have another Stormax cargo hold there. We have a gap here with nothing in it, so we could definitely strap another one if we wanted to. This is getting very heavy, obviously. And then we have 2 of these weapons, the Reza 300 PHC SX laser from Shinigami, C-Class, 960 range, 1.5 fire rate, 63 shield damage, and 4 power, the pair of them. And they're mounted on a Nova Galactic weapon mount. Again, at the back, we have the engines here, same engines as before, the Supernova 2200. For aesthetic pieces, we have the Shroud nose cap seat, starboard 4, and then we have the Shroud nose cap seat, port 4. And then weirdly, we have 3 of these Shroud mid bracers, which is kind of an odd choice, considering we could strap, like, I'm just going to use as an example, we could strap one of these in here for more space. I'd probably, if it was up to me, and we were, like, keeping the ship as, like, stock as possible, I'd probably put a 3x1 engineering bay. Now, obviously, we don't have the Shroud Eklund one here. I'm using the Deimos one. I'd definitely put that there just for the, you know, because it makes sense being with the fuel and stuff that the engine would be down there, the engine room. You know, we'll put that back for now. Whoops. There. No, let me put the actual one back. And then for the other aesthetic pieces, we have that that weapon one. I'll show you there in 1 second. We have the Nova weapon mount there. We also have 2 windows here. One on that side, one on the port side, and one on the starboard side there. Now, for the next part of the ship here, we have the Shroud Battle Station 2x2, and we have the Shroud Infirmary 2x1. I kind of feel like I'd move the Battle Station up more to the middle of the ship, as it just makes more sense from, like, a kind of a gameplay point, or, like, a lore point of view, you know. That's kind of the section that controls all the combat and stuff, so you'd want that to be safe. Infirmary here, not bad. Now, because the entryway is, like, above this, we could potentially swap that to a workshop, or actually we might swap the other one in a minute when we get to it. For landing gear, we have 4 of these Hope Tech Hope 55 landing gear. They give 4 thrust each. They certainly get the job done. 2 more of these Helium-3 tanks here. And then for aesthetic pieces, we have a Shroud Cap 8, 2 of them, a Starboard 4, and a Port 4. 3 of these Shroud Engine Bracers A. And then at the back here, we have a nose cap port 4 and a starboard 4, and then 3 more mid bracers. Like, these mid bracers that, like, all the different factions or the shipbuilders use, like, I get why you use them, but in some cases, like over here where they were initially, it seems like just like put like an actual habitat, because habitats give more hull as well, which is really nice. Like this habitat here, this gives like a 5 hull, whereas this gives no hull. Anyway, and now onto the bottom section of the ship, we have another Helium-3 tank, which is crazy. And then we have the Stability Pro landing bay there. And then for landing gear, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the ACCU Lander 11 landing gear from Stroud Eklund, 2 landing thrust. And then we have this storeroom here, which I would swap this storeroom out, and I would replace it with a Stroud workshop. Just because it's direct... Oh, no. Just because it's, like, directly... Can I move you, please? It's directly by the entrance, so if you're, like, landed on a planet and you want to fix your ship, you're like, oh, I forgot my gun. You can go back in and, like, fix it all up. Anyway, and then for the aesthetic pieces, we have 2 Stroud Cap A Starboard 4 bottom, and a Port 4 bottom. We have another engine bracer. We have 4 of these Nova bracers here, 2 and 2. And then we have a Shroud cowling there, 1 LAPB. And we have a Shroud mid bracer, and then we have 2 of these porthole Nova, the windows basically. So if we put it back together, now it is a bit of an ugly beast. I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of those ships where, like, my recommendations, like, I'd probably be here for quite a while, and I'd make the ship look completely different to what it is. For the most part, right now, I'd recommend, if you really, like, don't care too much about, like, if you like how it looks and you just want to improve it, but kind of keep the aesthetic, I just increase all of these cargo holds so that they're basically all the 41s. And then for weapons, as always, I'm going to pull the weapons off because I feel like there's better weapons. So this ship being as big as it is, I'm going to put some turrets on it in a second. So what we're going to do... Why are they there? Okay, they're weapon mounts. Interesting. So we're going to swap out the shield, and we're going to swap out the grav drive real quick, and we're going to swap out the reactor, like I was saying. Obviously, with this upgrade, we're going to be banking on the fact that you're using the best of the best. If you don't have this available, you can substitute it for whatever is kind of the best available at your level. And then for the grav drive, we're going to... That's too high, isn't it? Yeah, you're too high. Go down a bit. And then we'll go grav drive. We'll go for the 50. Now there's two grav drives. One of them gives a little bit more health, but it's slightly heavier. And then one of them is... Why can't you go down there? Eh? Oh. Okay. Interesting. And then for the shield, we're going to go for the best shield in the game. Where is it? If you don't have this shield available and you have done the Vanguard questline, the Vanguard Bulwark shield is really good. It's a B class instead of C. And it gives 1450, which it's not as good as 600, but it's not far off. Of course you won't snap there. Goddamn. Okay, so we're gonna put this here. Now, that out of the way, we're gonna look at the engines for a minute, because I want to try and pump the mobility just a tad. So we're gonna remove these engines. Now, what engines do we have? We want to use ones that give us as much mobility as possible. What do we have here? Okay, so these ones give 7,650. These ones. Oh, these ones are 4. Let me do my quick maths. So that would be 11. That'd be 30, about 35k versus... Yeah, no, these are better. Okay. I mean, what about these ones? These are 8,000. Yeah, okay. So these are like the best engines. Really? We've no mounting point? Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. So you can have like 3 of these engines. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of modification there. No. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this down here like so. I'm gonna snap the reactor to it. And then we're going to do that one there and that one there. Please don't tell me it's too long. No, we're good. What's the error? Ship has unattached modules. Where? Ah, they're the unattached modules. Okay, interesting. So we'll get to them in a minute. So that brings our mobility up. Now we can add one more. So what I'm going to do is I want to put one like down here. Want it to like sit there, so we're going to need something to snap down underneath. So we're going to really quickly look for a structural piece. All right. Of course you won't snap. Okay, so we're gonna do the merge technique here for a moment. Just because it's not a huge thing. It looks fine. It's a bit glitchy. We're gonna so in order to do this merge technique, I've done it a few times. You just basically you flip it back, and let go. Oh, my bad. You're supposed to drop it first. So you drop it first, and then you put it in. flip it back, and let go. And then it will eventually snap back. Now that's just a kind of a basis, because obviously we're going to try and get like a better piece to hold these together. Do we have anything? Oh, wait a minute. Potentially. Hold on now. Might have found a better piece. Now the question is there going to be a piece small enough that will guide them two together? Probably not. Bethesda don't like making this easy on us, do they? Oh, maybe. Nah, I feel like we're not... Ooh. No, there's not even a snap. This is what's annoying. So there's a snap point there, but like, it's like very situational on what snaps to it, which I think is kind of stupid. Like, it's kind of discriminating towards all of the different pieces. Like, come on now, you can snap to it. You don't need to be difficult. Oh, wait a minute. I may have found a better, nicer way. Okay. Yeah, that looks nicer. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Now we could... I think it's going to be too long, but we'll see. Let me see. No, she's too long. She's 41. We'll put this here. Now, you can add some support under here. Again, this is just kind of a rough kind of guide if you're going for this. Do you even have a snap? You have a snap point up there. What will oh. Potentially, but potentially not. See, normally like I said, normally I like use the merges as... I don't really mind it, but obviously not everyone likes like merges, so like I'm trying not to... Actually, we'll just get some of these for now. They won't snap in their watch, will they? Nope. Okay. I think for the time being, this is the sort of thing where you have to kind of fiddle with it, but this is just the idea. Like, in this current config, using 3 of these engines, we can basically pump them up to, we can, like, bump up the speed to, quite fast. Now, you could potentially sacrifice cargo, actually. I never thought of that, because I'm slightly stupid. So we could put this back here, and you sacrifice a bit of cargo to put some engines in there if you wanted to go that way. And then for the final engine, why didn't I think of that beforehand? Okay, so that's a little better. Now they're... Okay, so we can still get some cargo. Now it's gonna merge a little bit, but like it's not that bad. And then I'm gonna just put one of these shroud mid bracers here. Now we're gonna have to do the little technique. Okay, maybe not that shroud mid bracer. We want something small just to kind of fill that void. I'm not gonna be... Oh, this should do. Alright, so in order to get this here, what we do is we're going to remove the reactor. Again, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this. I just do it because I don't like it flowing there. So what you would do is you place what you need to place, duplicate on top, it'll then snap to the bottom, and then now you notice it is merged in. It has no effect on gameplay at all. At least when you... The only gameplay affecting merges is if you merge something into a habitat module. So it's, you can see it's like merging there, but it's not too bad. Kind of looks like it's part of it. Anyway, now with the engines kind of done, I think the only thing left is turrets. So we're going to add some turrets, just because I feel like this is a sort of vessel where it'd be nice to have some turrets. So we're going to go with my usual turrets. I really like these ones here. No, not those ones. What? Where am I? Oh, here they are. So some of these bad boys. So... what? Put 2 here, like so. Now, if you wanted to, you could mount them on this horizon weapon mount here. They'd have good angling. Like, they'd be able to basically shoot better. But I just don't like them sitting there because I feel like they need more support. But if you do, by all means, put them there. So you have those 2 turrets there. And then I'd probably put 2 more down here. And you don't want to snap. Now, we can, again, we could do the technique to make it snap. But people might not like that. So instead, what we're going to do is... This is where the habitat module is supposed to be, isn't it? Just seeing if we have any structural pieces. We do not have any. Damn it. See, if we were to just, like, if we were to simply add a... What's our cargo saying at 3,500? Cargo's not too bad. As is. I'm kind of bummed out that we can't snap the turrets to these things here. These little wings. Because that's where I'd put them, because it'd be like the perfect spot to put the turrets. You know what I might do? Let me see. So we're gonna do what I was initially saying. We're gonna remove this. We're gonna put an engine bay in. Now, obviously, if you were doing this, I'd recommend you use the Shroud Eklund engine bay, but we don't have that here, so we're using this to substitute. What is the problem? Why do you not want to go in there? Is the bridge causing trouble? Is it really the bridge? Okay, that's going to be problematic because I'm not going to be able to place that. In order to do the duplicate glitch, you have to be able to duplicate the item, and that Shroud Eklund, the bridge is kind of messing with it. We could do. We could move the bridge up one. Actually, I didn't think of that. Let me move the bridge up. Let's put the bridge on the top floor, because I feel like that just fits better. And then we can fit this in here like so. And then that will allow us to put, we can put this back here like so. So we still have our storage. Now, obviously, we have like a little bit of room here to play around with. I'm going to hide them, potentially, using some structural pieces. Now, obviously, I'm going to be using these Deimos holes. You don't have to use these Deimos holes. You could put more, like, structural or habitat pieces down here. But I'm just doing it for the sake of, for space and time. See, that looks a little bit better. Again, why can't I snap to there? I don't... If I had... The thing is, if any of you guys have watched my other videos, you'll know that I make use of piece... it's an equipment plate that can only be bought on Neon, made by Tile. You can basically snap them there. It pretty much looks like a porthole, but it just doesn't have a window in it. That would then allow you to place a turret here, which I would recommend. I like to always have at least 3 turrets, so you can put a turret there. So that's going to just be there for the sake of, you know... What's the errors? Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then for, like, actual, like, controllable weapons, we can't go wrong with some of these bad boys here. The PB-30 auto electron beams, or the electron beams, not the auto ones. If you have the Vanguard ones, by all means use them. And then we're just gonna strap some of these here. Come on. So we're gonna put this here. And then we're gonna put another one there. And then we're just gonna snap 2 of them inside. So this is completely overkill. But it gets the job done. And then we're going to really quickly, we're going to assign the weapons. So we've got the electron beams, and then we've got the turrets. Now it still says module unattached, but that's just because of this one here. If we remove that, we are good to go. So yeah, that's just an idea. Like, there's a lot to this. Like, I'd probably even suggest, like, if you're not gonna follow this, because I mean, realistically, you're probably better off just stripping it down to the bare minimum. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this version of the Kepler. And I'm just be interested to see how many of you guys got this version over, like, the kind of the more, like, cheaper version. And as always, don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content. And check out some of my other reviews. Bye-bye.